work to be done, so let's do it a little by little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than numbers. All together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. You see one cocoa full of basket. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in the casket. One cocoa full of basket. Yeah, yes. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. Walk together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Keep on playing. Yeah, yeah. Break it down. Come on now. How's the feeling over there? Wake up. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now. You gotta wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Yes. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Free from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your dog, put your dream to reality. Yeah. All together now. Wake up and live. Yeah.
We can make a change. We can make a change. Come together. Whoa, yeah. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Now I shall tell of my story, 'cause his story has been life. 'cause his story has been lies. So if we don't change up the value, then we rearrange the system. We're always gonna be another victim. If we don't change up the value, then we rearrange the system. We're always gonna be another victim. If we don't change up the value, then we rearrange the system.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. This is Emancipation Day +1. Good morning to those who have joined us on air and those who have joined us online. Thank you very much for making the time to be with us. In the studio, long hair Lloyd. I'm envious. If you see the head of hair on this man. Good morning to our engineer and the producer, and of course, as always, our beloved Pastor Percival. This is your host, Minett Lawrence, with me, Pastor Percival Palmer, and we are very, very, very happy to be here. And I meant it, Emancipation Day +1. We're going to talk about the agenda for this newly emancipated people. Do you know every year that we celebrate Emancipation Day, God is giving us an opportunity to get it right.
That is so true.
Aha.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty when Christ has set you free and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Remember, I suppose we were having a conversation about that.
Bondage.
Bondage. Stand fast with the liberty wherein you have been set free. You say God has a plan. He always have a plan. And I'm always asking people, are you aligning with God's plan? Are we aligning with God's plans for this nation as a people? Every nation, I must say, is in the heart of God. It never happened by happenstance. That's the word?
Happenstance,
Happenstance.
yes. As you're standing fast.
Right. It happens because there is design
and purpose
for what God is seeking
and
to
love.
do in terms of accomplishing His will for us. So good morning to you as we take our 6:30 break this morning. Blessings to you.
We'll be right back. He's
Bess 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years. Compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Things and watch me fly.
Get inspired when you tune into Vent, brought to you by Via Express Couriers. This and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Best 100 FM. Hear from some of Jamaica's top entrepreneurs. Get updates on deals and upcoming events, tips for business, and pure vibes. Vent, a safe space for discussion. Make a chat, no man.
Half a tree. 100, 200. Ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Make an impact on your career. Earn real money. Get 3 to 4 local and international certification in practical nursing and early childhood education with free CXC or CAPE subjects in 6 to 12 months at Distinction College, located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. Earn global certificates in 3 months in geriatric nursing, phlebotomy, childcare. We have the lowest school fees around. Classes begin very soon. Call us 356-4167.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. A bit of excitement hit the studio while you were not looking.
Yeah.
You were you were listening to the ads while Pastor Percival, who had not heard Mr. Isat Buchanan's statements concerning the Director of Public Prosecution, wanted to know, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say? We're going to speak a lot about matters of that nature now, because we don't use our freedom to get into something that will have us entangled in bondage again.
Because we keep doing that.
Yeah.
And we have the
Emancipation Day +1.
Yes.
Is not a time to joke about how we're going to use this hard fought, won with blood and suffering freedom. And we're not talking about the Queen of England or the abolitionists of the day fighting to say, let us restore to man what God had given him. We know that the freedom from slavery did not come because men and women decided it to be so. It is always the will of God for persons to be free. And what you see taking place is an interruption and interference, a challenge to what God has set for man.
Yeah, so there, Percy and Minett. One final thing.
Yes.
Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable.
Tick.
Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise.
Are you in Philippians 4?
Yes, I am. And I say that to all of us as Jamaicans as we ponder the way forward in terms of what really will help us, will move us forward. So that's what this is Paul writing to persons in Philippi. But on Monday, after I departed, it's been an interesting.
Please don't say departed, Percy. I'm not ready for you to depart.
No. After we said
parted?
we said bye bye. A lot of things have happened. I interacted with a couple, and I said to them, do not copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think.
That was it in couples counseling?
Yes. Okay. I had to encourage them, you have to think right.
Yes.
If you think right, you will do right. Isn't that the follow-up? If you're not thinking, if you're not shifting and changing your mindset about how things are, you're going to continue in the same path. But I found that do not copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So that is it. I said I quoted Philippians 4:8. This is how you must think, but then you have to make a decision as an individual. We have to make decisions in our families, in our communities, in our nation. We have to shift our mind. We have to think again in terms of some of the things that we harp on, some of the things that we allow to take us off the path that will lead us to being a righteous nation. A righteous nation, a nation that is good, and a righteous nation that is just, and so on. I was reflecting again on last week and reflecting on what has continued to bubble over into the public domain in terms of the dialogue that is going back and forth. And I'm simply saying to us, we have to focus. We have to focus on the important things. You know, because what is happening, even as we celebrated Emancipation Day, there are a lot of issues that are emerged which would seek to take us away from what are the important things in terms of what emancipation means for us as a people, in terms of the dialogue by all of us, in terms of how we interact with each other, and really what it really means for me and you, Minett, even as we talk to each other, even as we have dialogue, even as we talk about issues. We have to focus on the things that, as I have often said, let us focus on the 20% of things that will bring the 80% of change in our society. And so I just encourage us. It is so easy to become distracted and get into side issues, I call them. Not that they're not important issues, but we have to focus on.
You need an agenda. Don't just walk into the meeting and start talking.
Yeah, we really need
come with a plan.
Yeah, there must be a plan.
Yeah, and if we use just even how meetings are run as a guide, you will not allow somebody to just raise any issue out of season.
Yes.
As you are moving to complete matters on your agenda.
Right.
What is Jamaica's agenda this 61st year?
Yes, as we move towards it on the 6th.
What do you think should be on it?
You're asking me?
I'm pushing you. Yes.
One for me, in terms of a priority for us as a nation, is what does it mean for us as a country in terms of the covenant that we have with each other? In terms of what's the covenant? What does it really mean? Not for some people, a few, but for all the persons that call Jamaica home or are connected to Jamaica somehow. That's one thing. The second thing, that's the covenant, the Constitution. The second thing that comes out of that, or it would be a subheading, is how do we change the narrative in our nation in terms of one that speaks to what Philippians 4 advises us how we must live our lives. Good, honest report. What are the values that we want to see, that all of us can coalesce around and say, oh, this is how we are. And anything that comes against that, we reject it outright. In terms of how we deal with each other. So a culture of honor, culture of love, culture of honesty, culture that speaks to...
Sorry, how did you classify that issue? What did you call that issue? You started by saying settle the terms of the covenant.
Right, and then the values that...
Oh, and now you're...
What are our values as a people?
Okay.
Honesty.
So what we're doing with the values now, we're recasting them or we are teaching them? Wow. Agenda issue. Do the values need to change?
I think so.
Okay. So change in values. I wonder if we were to ask even
culture
or Prime Minister, leaders who have the ability to put force behind their words, what would they see as the nation's agenda on this day when we're like stepping into the sunshine of freedom, come out of the darkness of the plantation, and we are now freed men and women? What should be on our agenda? We don't even have to look far because we're not the first to have made that walk from bondage into the light of freedom. And I am one who constantly celebrate the fact that there is such a clear path laid out
for us.
For us, there is no mystery to it. We don't have to guess what would bring us in a favorable place with our Creator, because as He ushered us out of that dark place, He presented a pathway, and we don't have to look far to find it. Many disparage the Bible as this or that, missing altogether what it offers in terms of a manual,
A roadmap.
to take us from one place to another. So I recommend it. I'm not going to even recite, because each time from the first day I took this microphone, I've been talking about the need for constitutional reform brought me here. Because I just cut out all the middlemen and saw that the trauma I suffered personally, corporately, with my partners in business, those traumatic events came from the same cesspool. It came from a perverse set of arrangements in the hands of persons who were not themselves educated or circumcised in the heart.
Yeah, the heart condition.
Put it at that. The heart condition was all over the place. Complete dysfunction. And I realized that unless we go back to the source and revisit those fundamentals, what happened to me would happen to my grandchild, my great-grandchild, and on, because somebody has to go to the polluted pool and put in the salt. You know, I'm going Old Testament on you. All of those things are coming from
Old
Scripture.
Testament, yeah.
The prophet Elijah put salt in the water and the water became sweet. So that's our job. We have to go back to the pool and sweeten the water, so what flows from it will be
Sweet.
beneficial to our...
It won't be bitter.
It will not be bitter. So that's when I think of the agenda, I'm right there with you on just creating that new covenant. And you know, just like how married people will from time to time approach the altar and renew their vows, I think it's necessary for us to do that anyway. And it's not called elections, general elections. That's not a renewal of vows. General elections really is a rejection of what's not working. It's your opportunity to reject what is not working. But a renewal of vows becomes necessary from time to time. And a perfect time to do it is as you are celebrating your walk to freedom.
Yeah, because that is so very crucial, because we think, okay, reject what is not working. But if the framework that rejection is bad, then everything bad.
Everything bad.
Everything bad from a morning. So we can keep saying, okay.
It becomes the fruit of the poison tree.
Yeah.
If the tree is bad, it can yield nothing that is useful to man. So we have to go back to the roots of the tree and see what needs to be done. So that's where I am this morning.
You know, that is so very interesting. I reflect on that, and I'm saying...
Her father was a farmer?
No.
He was, by the way.
I know that. I know your father was a farmer and he was one of the extension officers. But the whole idea of the covenant, what it means, and for us, that it sets the boundaries and the framework. If the framework is bad, you could not deal as much as you want to deal
and have the best intentions in the world.
It's not gonna work.
Frustration.
It's just pure frustration.
Yeah.
And as somebody has rightly said, and you have repeatedly said it on this program, we got independence. You call it an order in council, I say it was? That's it.
The order in council, yeah. But I added a bit to it, you know. First, the Queen, in her parliament, they passed an act in July. And that act led to the Queen in her parlor with her advisors saying, okay, let's do. So our constitution comes as just an order made over tea.
Okay.
Let's set those in Jamaica. That's my British accent. Absolutely. That's how it's done. Because, you know, I don't think many people even realize that what the Privy Council does for us, it's not a court, you know. We call it a court. But a court in England is a court that deals with law and justice for the UK. For Jamaica, It's a board of advisors. They sit in a courtroom and they have a registrar, but after they've heard us, they go to Buckingham Palace and advise the Queen.
Oh, that's how it works. Or the king, is the kid be
Or
the
the
king?
king, yes.
King, no.
So
As
they're
to
not
what?
a court. In
That
the,
will
at
give
the
armness.
and yes, and yes, and remember when we go, they sit like it's like a boardroom setting. They are the judges are in business coat, yes, business suits, yeah.
They're not wearing the wig.
They're not wearing wig and robe, because they're not sitting as a court.
Okay.
They're counselors. They're advisors to the Queen.
So that's why
and
the
that's
Prime
why
Minister
when
is
you
part of the Privy Council.
that's why, right. And when you read the decisions that they give, you notice it ends. They're not speaking to the people of Jamaica. They say, and we so advise Her Majesty or His Majesty. They advise the monarch of the land on what note should be sent down to Jamaica. They care about Jamaica. They don't care about Jamaica. It's like the Queen called them and say, yo, Jamaicans asking a question.
Can you answer it, please?
What should I tell them?
Oh, my Lord. Oh, Jesus.
I am putting it that way so you understand. The thing you revere and want to protect with life and limb and have long debates in Parliament about the utility of it and so on and so forth. It's a very expensive business meeting between men in England who listen to what you're complaining about, and they don't advise you. They go and tell the Queen, you know, they brought this problem from Jamaica. Oh, why wouldn't they behave themselves down there? And Majesty, here's what we say to them. Look at any Privy Council decision and you will see it's not addressing the people of Jamaica. It's telling the Queen or the King what to say to the people down there who won't let go of the skirt tail or the coat tail, as the case might be.
Oh, wow.
When you look at it, really, it's offensive. It's like you have a problem in your house and your wife go next door to talk to the other people over there.
And then advise her
and
she
then
must
tell her
behave.
something and she come back.
And then and act on
The
it.
people over there have no jurisdiction in your house and you're entitled to ignore her if she does such a shameful thing. Has she ever done that?
Has she ever done that? Has she ever done that, producer? Because she asked about this, so me ask you that.
I see Percy just stare straight ahead.
Has she ever
Trying
done
to
it?
imagine Michelle running next door. What would be next door? Because you live on an estate. What's next door? I would have to run down to the gate and ask the guango tree at the bottom of the gate.
So
You
ask her,
know?
what do you think about this?
What do you think about this? And Lowell up there going on with some things, you see. And hear what the tree says to me. Go back and deal with it. I don't have a
the
next
movie
door.
with Anthony Winkler and the tree.
Yes, the madman, the lunatic.
The lunatic.
Yeah.
Funny.
Anthony Winkler hasn't written anything in a while. Are you aware? On that, I meant to send him a note, which the government of Jamaica had not done the correct things to give the FSC jurisdiction over the insurance industry, yet the FSC had gone and taken some very strict and punitive actions against individuals, including Lowell. It's one of the things over which we bonded before we got married.
Okay.
I'm always working.
So that was
yes. And when we went and the board heard the issue and they put some questions to the attorney who was representing the government, and a number of things were clear. One was that while the government was fighting us over the issue, they already knew and had taken steps to retroactively fix the problem.
Pass legislation. They go
Yes.
on that, like this thing with the big payout and we
For the traffic, yes, things like that. And you saw recently that the court ruled that Paula's extension, the 3-year extension for the DPP, that it was lawfully carried out. And no surprise there. When I heard the judge reading and treating as an indisputable fact that the Gazette, the meetings, the record of the extension were to be taken at face value without more, I remembered Lowell's